with the Bolt Bros, having a wonderful time with you guys. It is a Thursday night, and we're gonna talk some Chargers. Let's go. All right, guys. So I got a little bit of I wanted to talk to you guys about, but before I do, I want to see some H's in the chat for what an amazing draft that we just had, man. Oh my goodness, guys. Throw some as many H's in the chat as you can because our team is full of H's now. In Harbaugh, we trust. In Herbert, we trust. In Hortiz, we trust. In Harris, we trust. In Hampton, we trust. Oh my gosh. What else? There's a ton of H's in our team now. So in H, we trust right now. It's like at first it was like, wait, it's Triple H. Now it's like Ocho H or something like that, you know? Anyway, it's just some funny thought that I had right there. So all right, guys. But I have a couple thoughts that I wanted to talk about today. I've been kind of working on a video where I was gonna have to edit a bunch of stuff, you know. But I was like, you know what? Let me just chat about it with you guys. You know, it'd be way more fun. The H Club, the H Troop. I like that, guys. Yeah, man. Chef Hortiz definitely cooked, my man. Yes, he did. Like, throw some H's in the chat for that. You know. We're going to rise to the top with this team. I think right now we got a lot better, and I think that we have a much better chance of actually making it to the massive playoffs. So, but I have some, like I said, I have some hot thoughts about this draft that I wanted to go with you, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about draft odds, and I wanted to kind of speculate with you guys about which one of these players, or if multiples of them, are going to be potential superstars, you know, the Pro Bowlers, the All Pros, and the Hall of Famers, you know. So let's talk a little bit about the odds. Let's talk about a little bit of our future, and let's get into it. So, Bolt Bros, let's go.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, Carlos just announced that as well, that apparently Zion Johnson's 5th-year option was just denied. So that is actually a crazy little situation, but it kind of makes sense though, because they would have to spend quite a lot of money on him in order to do that. Actually, I don't think it would. It's kind of actually way of thinking about it. They would not have needed to spend that much money on him with that 5th-year option, because he didn't make the Pro Bowl his first year. And so because of that, it would have been like half that price. So, but, you know, that does kind of, you know, speak to a lot of things that potentially he won't be with the team for very much longer because of that situation. So he may be an open free agent at some point. So, but we'll just have to wait and see on that, you know. So, but that is a bummer that he got denied for him. But I do think that actually it does pave the way for some of our new players, namely Jamari Caldwell, you know. So, but so let's get into that a little bit first. I wanted to talk briefly, maybe not too briefly, and I wanted to do, so the reason why I dressed up a little bit is because I wanted to do, well, first of all, I just got off of work not too long ago, and I didn't want to change and stuff like that, you know. So, but I did want to bolt up a little bit for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I got my shades on, you know. I got my hat on, you know. I could have put a different hat on, you know, but I was like, yeah, this is my hat for right now, you know. So, but I wanted to do a little introduction type thing. I was just bored at work at you know, on my break at one point, and I was working on doing like it's gonna be kind of cringy to you guys. It might be kind of silly, but I made some like intros for the players as if they were kind of entering the boxing ring, but it's the gridiron and stuff like that, And I kind of came up with some little funny nicknames essentially for them. Like they're not super funny, they're not super like out of the ordinary and stuff like that, But I wanted to talk about each one of their chances to be a Pro Bowl player and a Hall of Fame player and stuff like that. So, so like, yeah, I'm gonna do my best impression to be a boxing ring announcer for you guys. So, with a little bit of help of some technology and some kind of like auto tune type stuff, to kind of set the mood and to give you guys the best experience and stuff like that, So, all right, so just bear with me. This will be kind of fun. But we'll have a good time with it, So, all right, so here let me just kick on all my stuff here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, one more thing. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to the show, and bolt up, Chargers fans, because here comes a running back ready to electrify the gridiron, rushing through defenses with Hamptonizing speed for an end zone TKO, O'Marion the Volt Hampton! Okay, hang on a sec. Kick this thing out, so... All right. I don't know if I think I'm gonna do. Actually, before I'm gonna go through all of them, and just one little thing. Maybe I should, or do you think I should? No, I'll just stop at that one right now. So okay, yeah. So all right, sorry guys. My brain goes like 1,000 different directions every single time I do this thing because of my ADHD or whatever like that. So okay, so O'Marion Hampton was drafted in the first round. And so what do you guys think is his chances of being a Pro Bowler very soon? For his first year. Hang on a sec here. I think I realized something else that I can do here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so O'Marion Hampton was drafted in the first round. That means that speaks a lot of different things. In the first round, we have a lot of different players, obviously, throughout the history of the draft that have been busted, and some of them that have actually been, absolute wins. So think about that. How many of those players get drafted in the first round? And that are actually great, but actually don't do it. I mean, really, the reality is the shocker is that there's actually not as many only in the first round that you think would actually be there in the Hall of Fame and also in Pro Bowl situations. But there's a good chance for it. So round 1, picks 1 through 32 is still though the golden ticket zone, guys. The odds of a Hall of Famer are from those picks is up to 3 to 5%. So that's actually, that sounds like it's pretty low, but that's actually incredibly high. So that's like really like a 1 in 20 or 1 in 30 chance. It's like, so think about that. I mean, Peyton Manning obviously was a first overall pick in 1998. And then boom, of course, many, many years later, Hall of Fame. And I like that comparison a lot because think about that. Peyton Manning was 100% either him or Ryan Leaf for us, So, and it pains me to say that one actually out loud because look at how close we were to getting an absolute Hall of Fame star-studded person, and not only that, but Peyton Manning and Justin Herbert are very much seen as inseparable right now. So, but here's where it gets really juicy. Hall of Fame aside, here's the real statistic when it comes to the first round. It is a 50 to 60% chance that the first round player will have over, so basically over half these guys make it. Patrick Mahomes, obviously one of them. I hate to say it, but yes, he's a Pro Bowler, 100%. Is he a Hall of Famer? I don't think so. I don't like him at all. He's probably going to get caught for cheating here pretty soon, So, but what do you guys think? Is Omarion Hampton going to be a absolute Pro Bowl player? I think so. Yeah. Let me look at you guys' chat here. So, yes, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Jorge, DJ Fluker, yeah, right. Buster Davis, Larry English, Brian Stowe said it right away. It is a 50-50 chance, but it's a little bit higher. I'm going to give it a little bit here. TD says first year chance, absolutely 30% chance. Okay, and yeah, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. LOD gambled all. Did you get it? No, you lost, bro. You lost all your points already. Bolt Bro's about to be sued. Nah, man, we ain't about to be sued. Yeah. Let's see. I remember the song XTC making the plans for Nigel. Yeah, sir. Gates is 100. Yeah, and we got it. We'll get to that as well. We'll get to the undrafted free agents as well for sure, Miguel. Nice to see you, Larry. What's up, man? But yeah, Pro Bowler, certified. He was a Pro Bowler, certified Hall of Famer, undrafted free agent. Let's go. Came from basketball, even. So. Anyway, so that's how it goes for the first round. So let's get into the second round, and we'll talk about that in a second. But before I do, of course, I wanted to actually introduce our second round player and do the whole thing again here. One sec. I think I should do. I feel like I should just do. I should just do all these introductions in one time or something like that, because I feel like it kind of like I get on a vibe, get on a groove, and yeah, I think that'll be better. So I'm gonna get through all those things, and then that'll be fun here. So okay, got my lasers on, got my fog machine on, and here we go, guys. Here we go. So hold tight, everyone. The field's about to get leafy with a wide out riding DBs into a tremendous tangle with highlight reel grabs. Trey the catch, Harris. Let's go. And brace for a defensive storm. This lineman's blitzing offenses into oblivion, called crushing their hopes with a sack-happy attack. Jamari the Wall Caldwell. Let's go. Yeah, baby, let's go. Where's my thing? Light up the scoreboard with this receiver streaking past corners. Lampasting with the speed running touchdown dashes. Keandre the Blaze Lambert Smith. Let's go. Get ready for this tight end's gad zapping linebackers. Tight ending his way through coverage for red zone knockouts. Owande the grip Gatson. All right, Bolt fam, clear the line. This old lineman is pancaking defenders, tailoring a Bransom highway for the run game. Oh, Branson, the road, Taylor. QBs beware. This safety's picking passes with meticulous hits and interceptions. Swarming the secondary is RJ the Sting Mickens. And last but not least, we got a lockdown alert. This corner's tricking receivers, bridging them into coverage shutout with shutdown swagger. It is Turquoise the Lock Bridges. Let's go! Both down, foot, baby. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. That's it. I hope you guys like that. That was awesome. Let's see. Okay. Let me kill the lights here, guys. All right. Let's go, baby. That's what's up. Oh, I forgot about Kyle Kennard. Dang it. How did that one not get through? Ah, oh, dang it, guys. Okay, let me think about one for Kyle. Yeah. Well, hang on. Shoot, how did I forget Kyle Canard? He's literally my freaking name. I was literally gonna talk about him. Dang it. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on 1 second. We gotta kick it right back on. We gotta kick it right back on here. Yeah. Kyle forgot Kyle. How can I do that? How can I forget Kyle? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. Oh, I got yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's run it back, guys. Run it back. Okay, one sec. You guys, like I just like to have fun with this kind of stuff, Okay. All right, here, one sec. Where's my? All right, guys, and last but not least, actually no, it's not last but least. All right, Bolt fam, it's time to get hyped. Yeah, it's time to get amped for a pass rushing phenom, ready to shock the NFL. Blitzing quarterbacks with a keen, arduous pressure and a sack happy havoc. It's Kyle, the Spark Kennard. Let's go. There you go, baby. Let's go. All right. Dang. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, man. That's terrible. How did I forget Kyle Kennard? He's literally like, I was even thinking about getting his jersey and stuff like that. Like how did I forget his name? My bad, guys. My bad. That was my big old mess up right there. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, guys. Yeah. Kyle forgot Kyle. I'm totally sorry about that, guys. I totally forgot that. Yeah. Features activated. Yeah. Sorry if you did that. Yeah. Kyle, you are doing to seduce women you don't intend to. You have to watch out. Kyle could low-key DJ at a strip club. Hell yeah. That's good. Attention, Walmart shoppers. I just peed myself. Lee. That's what's up, man. And here comes Genesis. Yeah. White guys for Harris. What? I ain't never gonna remember that dude's whole name, right? Yeah. DJ Beard. Hey, I could be DJ Beard. Why not? I'll do some LED lights in my beard and stuff like that. And that'll be awesome. Like choose a surname, seriously, right? Yeah. Leonard Smith. I'm not a fan of like the hyphenated things, but you bit your tongue. So don't worry, man. Like let's get ready to rumble. That's right, man. Am I on gummies? Maybe I. I'm actually just kind of having a good time though. So yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, guys. Okay, so yeah, I just felt like I wanted to do that real quick because I was like, I was just bored. And yeah, man. I just had 3 seizures. Sorry, Roland. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is what I wanted to get into. So let's talk about the draft and stuff like that. Where did my notes go? Dang it. Here it is, right there. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot to be said about. Okay. Now, so I already talked about round 1. So let's get into the round 2 scenario. Round 2 has a lot of solid players throughout history in it as well. But it's obviously going to be diminished returns every single round, right, guys? Because what's up, Bolt Bros? How you do? What's up, Dark Panic? Yeah. Sorry, and again, sorry, Roland. Sorry you had the 3 seizures. You probably should see a doctor about that. Okay, so round 2, like I said, there's always going to be diminished returns every single round. So how much do you guys think the odds are for Hall of Famers to be picked in the second round, and how much for the Pro Bowl there? So, but you got to think about this. So remember, Brett Favre, he got drafted in the second round at pick 33 in 1991. And of course, he's got that gold jacket, so he's a Hall of Famer. But of course, there's a little asterisk on that one because, of course, he's kind of, well, it turns out he's a bit of a dick. So that's kind of not a cool thing for him, though, So let's see. There's also Terrell Davis was picked 65 in 1995. And so he got that, Super Bowl MVP, and he got Pro Bowls and all that stuff, there. So yeah, and Breeze was a first round pick, wasn't he? In the second round, I could have sworn he was a first round pick. But you might be right. He may be a second rounder, and he's a Pro Bowler. He's up for the Hall of Fame potentially, So actually, I'm not sure if Breeze was a second rounder. Someone double check for that. So yeah. How much is there to be said about that? Exactly how much? Yeah. Favre is an absolute jerk. But okay, so to answer my question, because I don't see people saying it in the chat just yet, but round 2, there are 1 to 2% chances of being a Hall of Fame pick in the second round. So that's a huge drop off. When you really think about it, from going from 3 to 5% to 1 to 2%. Because that really means, think about that. I mean, that's still a lot of percents or whatever like that, but that's a 99 to 98% chance that you will not make the Hall of Fame in the second round. That's crazy. And then, but Pro Bowls, though, is a good thing. Yes. Okay. He was a second rounder confirmed. All right. Thanks to HH4. But Pro Bowlers thing, though, is a 25 to 35% chance of making it into the Pro Bowl. So that's a big thing. You disappointed me this year. You didn't let me hop on for a mock this year. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't do what we did last year. Well, I'll have to get you on another time though, man. Because so I did set up this, change this thing to be able to allow my Thursday show to allow people to jump on and stuff like that, especially for the off season. So I'll make it up to you. Don't worry about it, man. Anyway, so that's crazy to me that it's a 25 to 35% chance for the second round here. So now what do you guys think it is for the 4th to 7th? I mean, of course, I don't want to go to 4th to 7th. I mean, it drops pretty much exponentially at that point, So man, what can I say, man? Actually, my notes are all over the map. My head is all over the map. My notes are all over the map. So I'm sorry about that here. Let me just figure out this here for a second. Yeah. Okay. So from round 3, you have a 15 to 20% Pro Bowl odd. And then Hall of Fame, you have a 0.5 to 1% chance of Hall of Famers. So it's every single time it's like a diminished return by about half as far as the Hall of Fames go. And then all the way to Pro Bowls, it looks like it goes first, it's a half one, and then it goes by down by 10, 5, it seems like it's down by a 0.75 each time. So it's crazy to me. So round 3, 15 to 20% chances of getting a Pro Bowler. And who did we get in round 3? We got Caldwell. And that's freaking amazing. So he has a pretty good chance of being a Pro Bowler this year, because I think he may be able to get a little bit more field time than we might expect. And I think that's this thing too. When it comes to the starters, they all it really just depends on how much time they actually have to start, So round 4, 10 to 15% in the Pro Bowl. Round 5, I'm just going to throw these out there. Round 4, 10 to 15%. Round 5, 5 to 10%. And round 6, 3 to 5%. Round 7, 2 to 5%. Undrafted players have a 1.5 to 5% chance of being a Pro Bowler. And it really all comes down to, of course, start time, So when you really think about it, like, I mean, all these numbers are kind of in a lot of ways relative, because you really think about it, like the players need to be coming into the right situations in order for them to actually get their shot. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. So like if a player is on a team, if you get drafted and you're a quarterback and that team already has a established quarterback, a franchise quarterback and stuff like that, your odds of becoming a Pro Bowler / Hall of Famer are not zero, but they are significantly less, I would say. Even if you're drafted in the first round, even if you're drafted in the second round, so, but you think about that as well. Brady was picked 199, the Tom Brady pick, and he still made it to the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's 100% going to make it to the Hall of Fame. He made it to Pro Bowls. He won all those Super Bowls and stuff like that, and what happened though? A random situation happened that, Drew Bledsoe got injured, and he stepped up to the on the field, and he showed everyone that he was a freaking amazing quarterback that he was. So that's just it, guys. It all comes down to really starting and stuff like that, So that's kind of what I wanted to think about with our team. So which of these players, obviously, Amarian Hampton is going to start. I don't know if he's going to be RB1 or if he's going to be RB2. Maybe he'll be more of the first and second down running back. And then Najee Harris will be the third, fourth down guy. But I don't know, man. I mean, we have a freaking insane running back room right now, guys. I mean, currently, J.K. Dobbins is on the team, technically. He has signed a contract with us, but it's kind of an open-ended contract. Right, guys? So if he actually does end up staying with the team, there's a lot of competition on this freaking running back room, right? But you can't shake a stick at the fact that Omarion Hampton is a freaking, oh my gosh, he's a giant, guys. He is so freaking huge. I can't believe how big he is compared to like Jim Harbaugh. Like, it's like, what the heck happened? Like, was that a camera angle thing, or was there an issue with the was this like kind of a Hobbit, Lord of the Rings situation where like they kind of did some camera tricks to make him look bigger? Because that guy's freaking huge, and like you can't just not put him in the field. That's insane to me. But anyways, so you got Trey Harris, of course, round 2. He has a really high chance of taking over for QJ. Yeah, exactly, Zed. Do you think QJ is cooked and moved down to or wide receiver 3 or 4? Hey, it's very possible. I will kind of hold my thoughts on that though too, because he did have an absolute much better year this second year than he did his first year, despite a lot of his drops and critical down misses that we all like ring more in our head or whatever. Yeah, he had like I think he doubled the amount of yards that he had from his first year, and he like doubled the amount of touchdowns or something like that, So he did much better, but still not as good as he could have been. But I do think here's the thing though, Zed. I think QJ could be I think he could be switched to not the outside things. He'll run the shorter routes. He's not going to run the deep routes anymore. That's for sure. Like there's just no way we can't run deep routes with him because he can't. He loses track of the ball. He tries to catch the ball with his like knuckles. He loses it over his shoulder. All that stuff. He's not a deep threat. 100%. He cannot be a deep threat. He'll have to go to the middle or something like that. On a four wide out thing. And so I just don't see that happening. So yeah. Anyway, so. And I think, honestly, he's 100% getting replaced. Like, we got Trey Harris. We have Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey obviously proved himself. He's set in stone. He's 100% one of our guys. Trey Harris could be his 100% replacement. And I think that could be, a fact that QJ will be gone. But let me go back into my thoughts on this, though, too. Because I didn't say this. But Hall of Fame stats go from, on the third round, all the way up to 1% and all the way down to undrafted at 0.05%. So they're literally only fighting for 1% chance all the way down the line. It is very, very small chance for any of those players to get into the Hall of Fame. And that's why it's so freaking special that Antonio Gates has made it into the playoffs. So obviously, like, and a lot of back history drama aside, Antonio Gates actually is a phenomenal player. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. But I think 100% White Bolt Deadpool, competitors welcome. And he's going to lose his position to a rookie. And it's very possible. It's very possible. But QJ does have a leg up on him, is that he actually has real NFL experience as opposed to the rookies do not. So, and that is a very good point there, Roland. QJ or Vidal could be trade baits. I actually like that a lot, So, and I do think, though, that, like I said, I think Trey Harris has a very good chance of being a Pro Bowler if he steps up in a big way. But we got a really amazing wide receiver room too right now, guys. Just think about that. We got Mike Williams back. We got Ladd McConkey. We got Trey Harris. We got QJ. We got Brandon Rice. We got Darius Davis. Of course, Darius Davis might be someone who is going to leave the team as well soon, because it's very possible he might get cut. Because you think about it, like, the other guy that we got, Keandre, not Keandre, the other wide receiver that we got is just as fast, if not faster, than Darius Davis, and he's taller and bigger, and he fits Harbaugh's scheme. Harbaugh likes big, physical, tough, and just relentless team players. And that's what he just got. So there's a lot of players that are about to get replaced, and there's going to be a lot of cuts this offseason that aren't going to be too shocking, because it's going to be the out with the old, in with the new kind of situation, So it's very, very possible. So anyway, but that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about there, So the big question comes into mind, so who of all these players is going to end up being one of the top players in a Pro Bowl situation, So will Hampton be? I think Hampton has a probably, obviously he has the best chance of being a Pro Bowler for the team, but it's kind of a hard thing to ask, because he's going up against Najee Harris, who consistently gets 1,000 yards every single year, right? And so Marion Hampton, he's got to step up in a bigger way and prove that he can actually do better than Najee Harris. So Jay thinks Marion Hampton for sure can and will be a Pro Bowler. I actually think Trey Harris has a bit better chance than Marion Hampton in a lot of ways, just because I feel like Trey Harris has the ability to take over a starting role right away as well. By taking over the role for QJ, 100%, he could take over, and he can actually show that he can get 1,000 yards and over 10, over double-digit touchdowns. That'd be freaking amazing, But at the same time, like, I also third-round pick, I do think that Caldwell has a massive opportunity to step up in a big way too. I mean, yeah, we have veteran players in front of him, T.R. Tart, being one of them. But he could easily be that first down, second down guy, and then T.R. Tart can be in as the third down guy to block those really tough situations. Just because, like, hey, he's a veteran. He's a little bit older. He doesn't recover as fast from all those different plays and one after another, stuff like that, and yeah, at the same time, but here's the other one too. Kyle Kennard is another big name person, and I'm going to hang on him for a second, because as I put in the description of this video, I think it's possible that Kyle Kennard could be Khalil Mack's heir. You just think about that. Kyle Kennard is what? He's 6'5". He's had 11.5 sacks. He was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And he's a big dude too. Could he be the rotational piece for Khalil Mack to potentially get him in there and to get more sacks than Khalil Mack this year? Or would he be in there as a rotational piece against Fertuli or Buddy Dupree? I mean, I honestly think that Kyle Kennard could be a massive replacement for, Khalil Mack. He could be his heir. I mean, obviously you would say he's the replacement for Joey Bosa. But I think realistically, Tuli Pelotu is the replacement for Bosa. And he learned a little bit more. Obviously he had spent some time with Bosa, whatever, but now Kyle Kennard can learn from Khalil Mack before Khalil Mack ends up, retiring and stuff like that, And you're right, Marvin. I do think that Tuli should have a year. He probably will though, And you're right, Darth Panic. Chris Rump had potential. He just couldn't stay healthy. Best of luck to him in North. Yeah, 100%. Hey, you know what? Sorry, Chris. You did have potential with the team, but you just didn't end up making it happen for us. You couldn't stay healthy. You weren't in the best size. I think Kyle Kennard is definitely going to. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I think he's going to be better than Chris Rump definitely was. That's for sure. So. Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, what else? Okay, I'll just say this though too. After round 4, I do think that the players there have very much diminished chances of actually being a Pro Bowler. But I will say that the receiver that we end up getting down there, his name is escaped me, even though I did just do the thing with him. Hang on a sec here. Let me pull up my notes again here. I did just talk about him, but I wanted to say, oops, sorry, wrong button here. Where's my notes? Okay. Yeah. What's his name? Touchdown. Yeah. Keandre Lambert Smith. So I think he does have a chance of making the Pro Bowl as well through special teams plays. And I think that's just kind of where we need to actually kind of think about that with him. Is he, if he's going to be our return man, because he has the speed, he has a good size about breaking tackles and stuff like that, if he gets a couple returns for touchdowns, punt return, kickoff returns, whatever, you name it, then 100% he's going to be a Pro Bowler for sure, So, guys, actually the same side, just thinking about that, Oronde Gadsden, for a tight end, he might end up being top tier as well. I mean, let me just say this before I get even further. I honestly do think that all of these players do have absolute potential to be Pro Bowl players. Because, think about that. Gadsden, he's a receiving tight end, and we're going to need that at some point, I'm sure. Branson Taylor, as an O-line, he might actually get some reps. Actually, I think of all of them, he's probably the least likely to end up in the Pro Bowl and get enough reps unless something drastic happens with some of our players. That's the only thing I got to say about him right there. And also RJ Mickens, I think he does have the lesser chance of making it to the Pro Bowl because I don't see much changing with Alohi Gilman or DJ Derwin James. But Triquise Bridges, the Lock Bridges, you know what I'm saying? He might end up actually going far because there is a obvious opportunity there in the cornerback room. Look, I understand Tarheeb still is fantastic. Cam Hart is fantastic, but they competitors welcome. Any one of them could be the guy. Any one of them could be. And so I do think that we have a massive opportunity for any of these players can get a start, can get a good role, but I do think it is diminished returns after the 4th round, not 3rd round. After the 4th round, it is the possibilities are much, much less. So with that said, if Kyle Canard, I hate to say it though, but it depends on injuries for the team. And I do admit that this past year, it's kind of proven, yeah, we had some injuries, but they were quick recoveries, So I think it's actually pretty awesome. Hang on a second. Oh, Darth Panic was talking about Darius Davis here. Caught every touchdown pass he was targeted with, even with given the opportunity. Who cares if he runs weird so long as he produces? Phillip Rivers had a janky throwing motion, and he threw hundreds of touchdowns. Yeah, it's 100%. That's 100%, man. Like it literally does not matter how a player gets down the field. All that matters is they score touchdowns. They get down the field. They get that yards after catch. They break those tackles and stuff like that, And unlike what my brother says a lot of times, he's very biased towards the SEC teams, and the big schools, the big names like the championship teams, like the Ohio State, the Michigans, you name it, whatever. I don't give a flying crap about where these players come from, especially now because of the what's it called? Because of the transfer system. I just want to see the tape of the players actually playing football, because if a player is in the SEC and they never see a minute of time on the field, what is it? What good is that for them? What good is that for the sport? Yeah, they could be like a high star recruit or whatever, 2-star, 3-star recruit or whatever like that. And if they go to the team and they fail, why? Yeah, who cares? Who cares about them anymore? But if they go, okay, well, I'm not going to get any game time here in Georgia. All right, I guess I'll go to Georgia Community College and play there or something like that, and just freaking light up the town. I don't know. That's probably not the best example, of course, But I don't care if the player comes from a small school. All I care about is, in a lot of ways, I care more about the RAS scores, and I think that is one thing that Harbaugh and Hortiz, they also agreed with me on that, because their physical traits can go a lot of ways. And here's why I think that. So in my days in the film and TV industry, I'll say this, is that, when it comes to me casting a show or, wanting a specific look for, or, doing casting calls and stuff like that, and bringing people in or whatever like that, I'm not necessarily looking at their ability to act. I'm looking at what they look like. Do they match the description of the characters that I'm looking for? So that's the same is true when it comes to football. They are looking for physical abilities. They are looking for size, mentality, probably, that's that X factor that, that we always hear about, that intangible, And so there's a lot of different things there, and chemistry is a big thing too, right? Right, to Papa? Yeah, chemistry, 100%. You get in, does it sound like they want to be on the team and play with you? That's a huge thing too, Do they have an ego about them? All these different things, And so the point is, all these players are coachable, and no matter what division they're in from college, the divide between pros and college is still all the way over here, let's just say that, say that it's like a mile wide, it's still a long ways off from college to the pros. And really, here's why. Because the NFL, all those players are the top physical form, basically, of the position that they are in, and they're all paid to play the game. That's all they do all day long, in and out, Sure, they practice for 3 hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 hours a day or whatever, and then of course, they're studying tape. They're learning about their opponent. They're learning about their plays. They're learning and then they're probably going out and exercising somewhere as well, pumping iron, running laps somewhere, getting more reps in and stuff like that. At least they should be. It should be an 8-hour day every single day of the week for them to sit there and train at least 8 hours. In order to be the best, you have to train like the best. And who trained the best, Kobe Bryant. He was always making a statement that he was going to be the first one onto the court and the last one off and no matter how much you actually train, he's always going to train longer and harder than you will. And that's what a player's mentality should be. If I had dedicated my life to playing football, because I knew I was going to be able to make money of that, and I had the right size. Look, I'm only 5'8", you guys. I'm not a big guy, and I'm like 175 pounds. When I want to, that. So like we're all small, on the Bolt Bros here, So compared to the director, he played football a little bit, we said he's probably a good size for a linebacker or potentially a fullback, he's got that good size there, but us Bolt Bros, I mean, we would be lucky to pass as a punter, I think, we don't got those big old legs and stuff like that. Anyways, I digress, but basically I'm saying is that, okay, so going back to the college thing, compared to NFL, like, all those people doing all the things, 8-hour days, whatever like that, but college, you have at least half the team or maybe 3/4 of the team full of players that are not going to make the pros. And they know that they're not going to make the pros, probably even more than 3/4 of the team, And so some of those players, they're just mentally not there. They just know they're just there for the free ride in college. So that way they can actually get their education, And so Grandizer, I'm 6'8". Nah, ain't no 6'8". I wish. Actually, I'm happy I'm 5'8". I'm happy I'm not 6'8". 6'8" is way too tall, man. Yeah. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that, like, so the college, no matter what, even in Georgia, even in Ohio State, even in Michigan and whatever, like that, 3/4 of those teams, 3 out of 4 of those players are not making it into the NFL. And so their heart is not into it. They're not dedicated enough. They're gonna make more mistakes because they're thinking about their exams. They're thinking about their things like that, And so, so that's kind of like where it's like, what? It doesn't matter what school they go to, and that's the bottom line, because at the end of the day, all these players, they need to show up and they need to prove that they have what it takes in order to get to the be in the big leagues. And that's the difficulty, and that, and the truth is, us bros, we decided, this year, after the draft happened, that we're going to elect, we're going to put our names into the hat as in the draft. And I'm going to record some videos of me, running, doing some speed running, whatever. And, and put my, do some training drills, do the ladder, whatever, run the cones, and we're gonna put ourselves into the draft, and I guarantee we're not gonna get drafted by any means. But if I just got a phone call, that'd be funny as heck. If I just got a phone, even if it was just a prank call, I don't care, or if it's an opportunity for like the team to use me as a gimmick or something like that, I'm down. I don't really care, man. So that'd be fun. Anyway, so now I did want to talk about one other thing here. So if you saw from the thumbnail, I did put this random Jets player in there, So, before I talk about that, I do want to talk about something else. Let me just talk about that. So J.K. Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins is on the team currently. Obviously James talked about it. So and just that whole freaking running back room is just freaking fantastic, guys. I'm still just kind of blown away with how good and how excited I am with our running backs and stuff. So I'm just excited about that for sure. Man, I just can't think about that enough, dude. I'm so happy that J.K. Dobbins is currently on the team, technically on paper. But of course, I'll be really sad if he does get picked up by some other team. However, as I talked to in the chat with some people, I do think that there could be a chance that he's not going to make it, and like I said, I'll just be sad about that. And I talked with some people on Instagram about it and stuff, and so that'll be pretty, that'll be a sad day. But my thought was this: if another team wanted him on their team, he would already be on their team. And so that's just kind of the reality. And he's able to shop around, of course. He's able to kind of, spread his wings a little bit, sow his oats, you can say. But it's it'll happen. If it'll happen, And if it doesn't happen, I'm happy. I'll be a very happy person, Anyways, so the random Jets player that I put to the thumbnail. There has been a rumor and a player discussed or rumored to be potentially shopped around towards the Chargers, and I'm probably going to butcher his name. So just so you know, it is I don't think his last team was the Jets or whatever, but he's a veteran defensive tackle. Folorunso Fatukasi, I think that's his name. He could join the Chargers. He was a pretty good run stuffer. And he's a good size, perfect for Harbaugh styles. 316 pounds. He's a tall dude as well. Yeah, dude, he could be key to this team. But he's a little older. He's like 29 years old or something like that. So. But he's 100% a run blocking specialist, and that could be something that they pick up just to be like, you know what? Okay, this is a run play. Get out there, Take the one of the defensive end sides or whatever in the whole goal line situations. As a veteran, he'd probably be allowed to only do third down, fourth down situations. Marvin says pass. Okay. Explain share with the class why you think you'd want to pass. And I'm kind of with you on that, because at the same time, I do think that I think we're solid on the line. But right now I think we have like 93 players. So we got to be under 90, the mighty 90. Pretty soon, it's like, well, we can't be over 95 or 90 for too long, or else we're gonna get fines and stuff like that, Wait, what happened, Eddie? Wait, hang on, hold up. He never got none, and she gave me 3 hours of pleasure. Whoa, hang on, whoa, nice. Unfortunately, that happened because he found out I. Oh, wait, whoa, what is this drama? Hang on a sec, drama. Wait, Eddie, what happened, Eddie? I suffered a broken rib at work today. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Eddie, okay, wait. And Eddie says, Eddie, you have enemies and got attacked and he hit me in the ribs with a metal bat. Whoa, Eddie, what are you doing? What's going on here, man? Hang on. I hope you file a police report, just like Miguel's saying, man, dude, that's not cool. Unfortunately, it happened because you found out that I slept. Wow, bro. Dang, dude. Hey, man, you slaying it though. Hey, good. Sorry you broke a rib, but dang, man, I hope she was worth it at that point. Now she probably is yeah, you're right, TD. Now she probably is his ex though, Guy without glasses like QJ dropping dimes. Nah, man. I like I think I look cool without my glasses on too. But honestly, my glasses, I do enjoy wearing the glasses because number one, it actually helps my eyes. I got some new computer screens from work, and they are very, very bright. Just gotta say though, guys, they are very bright, and, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I'm glad I wear glasses for this thing, So, bro, okay, so Eddie, you gotta have to let us know. Yes, because he never got none, and she gave me. Hey, yo, that's what's up, my man. Hey, DJ. Yo, you just performed a DJ set, man. That's what's up, man. I like that. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, well, again, I hope she was worth it, and I hope you recover well soon. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah. That's good. So Tupapa, getting back on the subject here. How does Puda compare to Caldwell? Well, that's a good question. So it's going to be kind of unanswered right now. I think size-wise, they are comparable, you know. But when it comes to Caldwell, we don't know about what his playability will be because we just obviously we haven't seen him in action in the NFL space at all, you know. So I do think that it's a hard gap to fill with Puna Ford, you know, leaving the team, you know. So I do think that we are going to greatly miss him. But I'm just happy that we have TR Tart, you know, like, and Caldwell could step up in a big way and stuff like that, you know. So I think we're good. Grandizer says, remember the movie Devil's Advocate, the part in the subway where the devil says that he's bangs the dude's girl and it get banked, you know, by a guy he knows. Oh yeah. I do remember that. That's a crazy scene, right? That's such a wild scene right there, you know. It's like it's just that's a pretty good movie, honestly. You know, like, I mean, it's the storytelling in that was fan freaking tastic, and you know, like, and like it really made me uneasy about a lot of stuff, you know. So that's it, you know. Yeah. Kyle only took his beard to a gunfight and won. Yes, sir. You know it, baby. And you're right, Marvin. Congrats on Puna for the contract, but Joe's not paying. Yes, 100%. Okay, Miguel, that's a quick question here. And let me go back to my thoughts here. Who do you miss more, Puna, Meta FM4, or K Slay? Oh, 100% Slayer, dude. Yeah, 100% Keenan Allen. I miss 100%, man. I love him as even as a player, as a person. He's been with the team for so long. He's such like a presence for the locker room. You know, he's a presence for the team. He's just 100% an awesome player, and I'm excited for him. And I wish that he was able to stay on the team and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. But anyway, so I digress. So that's just it though, you know? So Folorunso Fatukasi is the possibility of someone picking up in the off season later on in the season. I think it could happen later though, you know? So, and this is something that I keep telling people too. So when it comes to Keenan Allen, I don't think he's not really fully ready to retire. So his options are out there. He's still potentially going to come out for a team and pick up somewhere, you know? So, and I would say this, that I think it could be a handshake deal with the Chargers, that if the Chargers actually end up, if and when the Chargers make it to the playoffs, I think that's when he gets signed. And that he'll just show up and he'll have you know, a deep playoff run with the Chargers, just maybe as like one last hurrah, you know, like just kind of just make it happen, you know. I think that could be huge, you know, and because he's like older, you know, he's 33 years old, that could be, oh my gosh, that would just be so amazing, and I would absolutely love that and hope that happens. But that could also mean that somebody else could do the same thing with him, you know. So, like, I mean, obviously, he's potentially being looked at by a lot of other teams in that same way, and that's kind of my hope for him, you know. I was thinking that maybe he would get picked up after the draft and stuff like that, you know, because of compensation picks and stuff. But I do think that Keenan Allen could show up at the end of the season towards the playoffs and, you know, maybe get a ramp up a little bit into the last couple games and stuff like that, you know. So that's kind of what I think. So let me know what you guys think about that, you know. So, but anyways, guys, so that's kind of what I was thinking. So, like, about for a while today. So, so I would say this is like, so of our team, the draft that we have right now, obviously Omarion Hampton has the best chance of making the playoffs and making into the Hall of Fames. But I do think that, hey, they all do. They all have chances to make the Pro Bowls, but it's significantly less after the fourth round. So Kyle Kennard is probably and Keandre Lambert Smith are probably the last kind of potential people that could make the Pro Bowl, unless we see some greatness out of these other players, you know. And I hope that we do. I pray and I hope that we do, and I hope that all of them are going to actually do they're all going to do well, you know. And I think we have some amazing situation here where potentially Kyle Kennard specifically could just be our, the 100% 1-to-1 ratio of Khalil Mack replacement. Obviously not this year. He'll learn under Khalil Mack. He'll learn, get some ideas and stuff like that, how to juke all these passes, whatever like that. Yeah, okay. LOD believes that Oronde Gadsden is going to kick ass. Well, the problem is that we have a really deep tight end room. It's going to be hard for him to get all the way to the top. That's what I'm saying. But hey, I would love to be proven wrong on this one too. Hey, you want to make a bet on that too? And by the way, in chat, I did pay him. He can actually tell you. I could actually, I can just tell you right now. I did pay him his due. I paid him his $20, just so you know. And I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. I don't want him. I don't want to show his name there. Oh, dang it! Oh, shoot! Right. Oh my gosh! Now no one's gonna be able to really prove. Dang, that's terrible. You can't even see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there it's $20. It was all blurry, whatever, but that's it. All right, yeah. So I did give him his $20. I owned up to my bet. That's right. So if you guys did pause it enough, no, it's not the flashlight. Why are you in flashlight mode? That was my Venmo, but it was all, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I did own up to it, but LOD, let's make a bet as well. You want to make a bet again, LOD, about Gadsden? $20 on Gadsden making it or not making it to the Pro Bowl. I don't like this bet. No, you know what? No, sorry. I don't like that bet. I don't want to bet against my players. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. It gives me bad juju. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. So anyways, tariffs, add more to that bet. Shoot. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Aether has paid up to his $200 though, by the way. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am going to go. It is a little bit late here, and I'm going to go hang out with my lady and stuff like that, But I did have a good time with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my little, let's get ready to rumble, things earlier in this thing. Aether is paying interest. Yes, he is. I'm sure he's paid more than what he's supposed to at this point. Of course, I don't really know. I don't really care. I never really expected him to pay up or whatever like that, but we did have a good time actually making, poking at him and, laughing at him, laughing in, not at him, but, in spite of him, I guess, I would say. Anyways, but, I will to Papa. Hey, yes, sir. You got it, man. But yeah, so anyways, that's kind of all we had to talk about tonight. I really appreciate you guys for joining the show, and I'll see you guys again on Sunday when we meet up again as brothers and just kind of talk about other things are going on with the week, and just we have a good time and chat about some stuff. Like I said, as always, us broke bros, we do many different things. I like to kind of do little live chats on Thursday nights. In the off season, it shifts to Wednesday during the season, before the game, before the whole NFL week and stuff like that, And then my brothers like to actually talk a little bit more, and they do small little videos throughout the week. And so please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the videos. Yeah, that's all I got for tonight, man. So I appreciate you guys. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. And as always, Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.